everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Truth and Wellness. This is episode 3, and today we're diving into a topic close to many of our hearts, building muscle and strength as we get a little older. I'm Pavel Grey, and with me is the wonderfully insightful Dr. Kent, a doctor of pharmacy and glutathione expert who's devoted his career to health optimization. Welcome, Kent.
Thanks, Pavel. Great to be here with you and all our listeners. I love this topic because there are so many misconceptions out there about what aging means for our bodies, particularly when it comes to strength and fitness.
Absolutely, Kent. There's this pervasive idea that aging naturally leads to a decline in muscle and strength, and that we just have to accept it. But I've seen firsthand that we can challenge these assumptions. Last time, we talked about building sustainable health habits, and today, we're expanding on how those habits can be specifically tailored to improve strength and fitness, no matter your age.
Exactly. A lot of the decline people associate with aging is actually more about inactivity than it is about age itself. Physiologically, we experience some changes as we age, things like sarcopenia, which is the gradual loss of muscle mass, slower recovery times, and hormonal shifts. But the good news is that we can counteract a lot of these effects with the right approach.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of sarcopenia, it's one term many might not be familiar with, though it's critical to understanding muscle maintenance. For those listening, sarcopenia can start as early as our 30s if we're not proactive, right, Kent?
That's right, Pavel. Without intervention, we can lose about 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade starting in our 30s. But before you start worrying too much, listeners, remember that lifestyle choices can dramatically slow or even reverse this process. Training regularly, eating properly, and allowing for adequate recovery all play significant roles in maintaining muscle health. Let's take a brief break to hear from our sponsor.
This episode of Truth and Wellness is proudly sponsored by Immunotech, your trusted immune health partner for over 45 years, offering cutting-edge glutathione research and a thriving global community to support your journey to healthier, happier living.
Let's talk about training then, because it seems like everything starts with movement. What do you find are the most effective types of exercises for building muscle as we hit those milestone ages?
For sure. The cornerstone of effective training is often progressive overload, consistently challenging our muscles by increasing the load, repetitions, or total training volume over time. Compound movements that engage multiple muscle groups are usually the most efficient and effective. Think squats, deadlifts, and presses.
Yes! My yoga practice aligns with this philosophy, albeit in a different form. There's a beautiful parallel between multiple muscle engagement in yoga postures and these compound lifts. And, Kent, you mentioned previously the importance of setting realistic expectations.
Right. People often set unrealistic goals and get discouraged too easily. Initial muscle gains can be quite rapid, especially for those new to training, but over time, the progress will slow. Realistically, someone starting serious strength training can expect to gain 10 to 25 pounds of muscle in the first year, which is significant. After that, the gains become more incremental.
That's good to remember. And how important would you say nutrition is in this entire process? I've heard it said that you can't out-exercise a bad diet.
That's an understatement, Pavel. Proper nutrition is crucial. Adequate protein intake is often the most emphasized aspect for muscle building. Typically, you'd aim for about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Then pair that with a sensible caloric surplus to fuel muscle growth. And let's not forget about carbohydrates and fats, which are also important.
Precisely. It's all about balance, and, interestingly, hydration plays a key role too. We often think of hydration as secondary, but it significantly affects performance and recovery.
Absolutely, Pavel. Dehydration, even minor, can have a noticeable impact on strength and endurance. Aiming for half your body weight in ounces of water daily is a good baseline for most people. And keeping an eye on things like electrolyte balance can help too, particularly during intense training.
Let's touch on recovery, because I think this is a piece many overlook. As we get older, recovery seems to take longer, but isn't part of that just about smarter approaches?
Very much so. Adequate sleep, active recovery, and stress management become even more essential. I often tell clients to think of recovery as part of their workout regimen, not something separate. It's during recovery that the actual muscle building process happens.
And, yoga can be an excellent complement to those recovery techniques. It's great for stretching, mobility, and stress relief. I've seen many people use it effectively alongside traditional strength training. You have mentioned that you use Immunocall Sport to aid in your muscle recovery. Could you tell the listeners a little more about that?
Absolutely, Pavel. Immunocall Sport, I find, shortens my muscle recovery time substantially over traditional processed, cheaper whey proteins. Muscle function is supported by increasing natural glutathione production in your muscle cells. Immunocall Sport reduces soreness and inflammation, speeds up recovery, and aids in oxygen delivery to your muscles with the addition of nitric oxide precursors. This, along with the flexibility and mental wellness aspects of yoga, can be incredibly beneficial. It helps to maintain and improve joint mobility, which is critical, especially when lifting weights, and aids in mental resilience.
Before we wrap up, any final insights or advice for those starting or continuing their journey of building muscle after 30?
Of course. I'd say focus on consistency and patience. Strength and muscle growth is a process. Minor setbacks might happen, but they're part of the journey. Stay committed, and the results will follow. I will also include a link for a 5-day sample kit of the original Immunocal and NRF2 flavor booster for people that want to get a feel for the taste and practice mixing the product before they commit to a monthly supply in the description section of this podcast.
Okay, great. Well said, Kent. Consistency and a balanced approach seem to be the key messages today. Thank you, Kent, for sharing your expertise with us. I hope our listeners feel energized to take on their wellness journey with renewed vigor. Until next time, everyone, stay well and keep striving for your best self.